We have spent the past year focusing on different evidence-based practices that help increase achievement for students with significant cognitive disabilities. We will continue that during each of our alternate content standards professional learning, but in between those sessions, we are going to be introducing coaching to provide and support job-embedded opportunities to further develop your teaching. According to Education Week, coaching improves both instructional practice and student achievement, more so than any other professional development and school-based intervention. Each interested teacher will have 2 30-minute coaching sessions during the school's CCRS days for Quarter 2 and 4. Each teacher will participate in an individual 30-minute coaching session virtually through Zoom. A calendar invite will be sent to you that lets you know the date, time, and Zoom link. As the chart shows, during the Alternate Content Standards Professional Learning today, we are providing you with an overview of coaching, which will start in Quarter 2 of the 2020-2021 school year. You will also be able to select a topic today. During our Fall Alternate Content Standards Professional Learning, we will take time to prepare for the first coaching session by sharing a completed applied practice that you created during one of our sessions that matches the area you select today, as well as the goal-setting template that matches the topic. That will help to ensure that the coach is able to review the document prior to your session to ensure meaningful collaboration and next steps. Then, during your Quarter 2 and Quarter 4 CCRS days, you will review student data in DeFore's 4 questions to prepare for your 30-minute coaching session. If you are not familiar with Richard DeFore, he was an educator dedicated to a goal like ours, increasing student achievement. He identified 4 critical questions to help guide us as we work towards that goal. This graphic has the 4 questions on the outside, with the center focus area being to increasing student achievement. Shortly, you will select a topic to focus on for your coaching session during Quarter 2. The topic should be one that you have identified as a challenge for you. Consider your goal-setting templates and the ones where you indicated your performance level to be beginner, emerging, or proficient. I selected my topic by reviewing student data, the goal-setting template from the ICM, and the applied practices that I created during Year 1 of the Alternate Content Standards Professional Learning. All 3 of those artifacts will also be used in the coaching session to help answer DeFore's questions. Let's look at each question to see how those activities will align. The first of DeFore's questions is, what do we need each student to learn? To answer this, we need to review each student's data and determine what skills have been mastered and not. To prepare for our coaching session, be sure you are collecting student data that will assist us in answering this very critical question. For example, I have selected prompt fading as my topic for coaching as I continue to not reduce prompts to promote student independence. Providing too much prompt support causes me to not be able to see what skills students are able to do and not do independently. The second of DeFore's questions is, how will we know when the student has learned it? I reviewed the systematic instruction plan that I created in my applied practice during the Winter Alternate Content Standards Professional Learning. I set my criteria to fade my prompts, but I've never really implemented it in my classroom. If I would set up a simple data collection sheet that all staff can use, I'd be able to see when a student has reached mastery with the criteria of 3 days with 80% accuracy without any prompts. During our coaching session, we will talk about the what will we do when a student experiences difficulty, or the last of DeFore's question, what will we do if a student has already learned it? Let's start with what we will do when a student experiences difficulty. I reviewed my goal-setting template for explicit instruction because I remember identifying my current performance level as emerging, and to move to proficient, I created a goal for data collection and fading prompts. I can ask myself, have I been using my data collection chart with fidelity? Have I established a criterion for changing prompt levels and taught them with all staff so that we are consistent? Have I taken the time to analyze student errors to make decisions about next steps? Am I using the best high-leverage practice and evidence-based practice pair? All these questions will help drive our next steps. If your student has already learned the skill, then this will be the question we focus on during your coaching session. Like with all questions, you see that it starts with analyzing the data to decide our next steps in increasing student achievement. Does the data show that the student has demonstrated mastery on consecutive trials independently? Has the student demonstrated mastery when generalization was used? If the student has mastered it independently, we will circle back to the what do we need each student to learn and start the process over. Before we select our topic for coaching, we are going to do a quick check for understanding. The first question is, coaching will begin in quarter 1. You think that's yes or no? It is no. Coaching session will start in quarter 2. Question 2. I will need to review student data before my coaching session to help answer what do we need each student to learn? Yes or no? That is absolutely yes. But student data will actually be used to answer all of these questions. A calendar invite will be sent to me that tells me the date, time, and Zoom link for my coaching session. Yes, please make sure you don't miss your session. 2 more, you're doing great. Question 4. The goal-setting template will not help answer what will we do when a student experiences difficulty. No, the goal-setting template will absolutely help answer what will we do when a student experiences difficulty. Finally, the last question. I should start collecting student data the week before my coaching session. No, you should start collecting the student data on day 1 of the school year. For those of you that are interested in coaching, you are now going to be able to select a topic for your first coaching session. We selected the topics based on your evaluation feedback, as well as conversations that we've had throughout the first year of the Alternate Content Standard Professional Learning. You will see that many of our topics covered this year are woven into 4 topics. The first option is Knowledge, Understanding, and Application of the Dynamic Learning Maps Math Essential Elements. The second option is Systematically Design Instruction using Student Data. Third option is Scaffolding using CRA. And lastly, Prompting and Prompt Fading to promote student independence. Take a few minutes to review your applied practices and goal-setting templates that you completed during Year 1 of the Alternate Content Standards Professional Learning. Consider the goal-setting templates that you identified as beginner, emerging, or proficient. Then proceed below to complete the Google form. After you complete the Google form, return to Schoology to move to 3.2 Learning Activity number 3.